The website of Jawaharlal Nehru University describes a university. It says a university stands for humanism, it stands for adventure of ideas, search of truth, and it stands for tolerance. The students of the same university are caught in a battle between tolerance and intolerance, stoking a debate on what is right and what is wrong. Today we have with us Professor Jagdish Kumar. He is the Vice Chancellor of the university, and with him we will talk more about the events that unfolded on the 9th of February and the consequences. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on DD News. The program on the 9th of February was supposed to be a program based on art, music and poetry, wherein the protest was supposed to be made through art, music and poetry. In your words, I would want you to first tell us and inform us about how the events unfolded that evening.
Thank you for inviting me to this program. Let me give you a little bit of background to this program. I joined this university on 28th January, and from the day I came to this university, I started visiting various schools and centers to know what is the expectation of my colleagues and students to take this university to the next level. So on February 9th, I was going to another school to meet the colleagues and students there. Around 3 o'clock, it was brought to my notice that there was a function going to be held at 5 p.m. On the campus. When I looked at the posters, it became clear that this program is something that could lead to problems. When I checked the contents of the posters, it appeared to me. So I immediately called a meeting of the higher officials of the university. When we checked who took the permission for this program and how it started, it came to our notice that a group of students wanted to conduct a cultural evening on 9th February. But however, although the application said the permission is sought for conducting a cultural evening, the contents of the posters said something different. So when we looked into this issue a bit more closely, it appeared that we felt that this program should not be allowed to take place on the campus. So around 4:30 or 4:45, the Dean of Students has informed the organizers that this program is, permission to this program is withdrawn, because in the application they mentioned that it is a cultural program, but the posters indicated something different. So we sent our security guards there to make sure that the area is cordoned off and the program will not take place. But however, by about 5 p.m., a large number of students gathered there, and then I think there was a lot of sloganeering, and there were 2-3 groups of students. There was a kind of tension building up between these two groups. So we instructed our guards to make sure that no untoward incident takes place during that tension, when the tension was building up. But by about 8 or 8:30 or so, the group which assembled there, they slowly disappeared from there. They went back. But during this program, we asked our security guards to record the program. So, and after the program is over, next day, because this issue was brought to us that there were groups of students in the program, and then there was sloganeering that took place in the program, which led to some kind of tension in the venue. We decided to investigate this incident. So on 10th evening, we formed an investigation committee, an inquiry committee, to look into this. And from 11th onwards, the committee started looking at all the evidence that is available to us, provided by the security section. And also the security section provided us a complete report on what happened during that program. So the inquiry committee is looking into that. So the inquiry committee is expected to give their recommendation. So we are awaiting for the recommendations.
So do you think the police action aggravated the crisis? As the Vice Chancellor, do you think that this issue could have been dealt with in a different manner?
See, JNU is an autonomous university. We have our own internal mechanisms to sort out any crisis. So as I said, the inquiry committee is looking into this incident. Let this inquiry committee come up with their recommendations, and then we'll see what kind of action can be taken following these recommendations.
Right. Now, discussion, debate, dissent have been part of the JNU, but not violence ever. As the Vice Chancellor, did you ever see that coming? Though you tell us that you joined office on 28th of January, it would be a little too early to speculate on that. But then you must have interacted with the other administrative heads. Did you ever sense that, or rather you, or for that matter, did they ever sense that coming? Because the extreme level to which the protest, the evening took the people, and that program could not have been organized with such extreme sentiments overnight. So did the administration at any point in time see that coming?
To the viewers, I need to give a little bit of background about JNU to understand this. See, JNU is a highly heterogeneous university. There is plurality in ideas and thoughts. Different ideas coexist here. We encourage freedom of expression. We encourage debate, even dissent to some extent, because this is one way of providing feedback about what is happening in the society. And I, for one, always support freedom of expression. And after all, students, when they are growing up, they are also part of the society. And when something happens in the society, they are bound to react. They are bound to have their own opinions. So as a university, therefore, we encourage plurality in our thinking. So when that happens, invariably there are going to be differences of opinion. So when differences of opinion exist, the challenge is how do we moderate between these differences of opinion and coexist. So therefore challenges do come once in a while, and we need to manage them properly, channelize those differences so that things will not flare up.
Right, you're talking of freedom of expression and also differences of opinion. Both of them are juxtaposed. I would want you to tell us that, do you feel that there is a need to draw a line between dissent and debate?
Well, dissent and debate, they can go hand to hand, right? But what is important for us is when we express dissent, when we debate issues, we definitely have to draw a line. But for me, the line is decided by the Indian Constitution. Whatever debates, whatever dissents that we may express, they have to be within the boundaries of what the Constitution prescribes us. So therefore, definitely, as a university, the JNU community will never support anything which is unconstitutional and unlawful. We will of course support freedom of expression, discussion and debate which is within the boundaries of the law.
The crisis now that it has boiled into a controversy, it is indeed a battle between the right and the wrong, between sedition and patriotism. I would want you to tell us, where does JNU as a university stand now?
JNU, as I said, for me as the Vice Chancellor of the JNU, for me the guiding principle is the Constitution. All of us abide by the Constitution. So therefore, whatever we do within the campus or when our students go and do outside, it has to be within the boundaries of law. It has to be constitutional. So we should never do anything which is unconstitutional. That is what we tell our students.
We'll take that thought forward, but at present we're heading for a short commercial break. Stay with us. You're watching DD News.
बहुत बहुत बधाई हो, आपने अपने बच्चों को पोलियो से बचा लिया। लेकिन जब तक दुनिया में पोलियो का एक भी केस है, पोलियो का खतरा बना हुआ है। इसीलिए अब सरकार देश में पोलियो इंजेक्शन की शुरुआत कर रही है, ताकि आपके बच्चे को मिले डबल सुरक्षा। अब अपने 1 साल से छोटे बच्चे को टीकाकरण सत्र में पोलियो की तीसरी खुराक के साथ जरूर दिलवाएं पोलियो का इंजेक्शन। क्यों राधा, इससे क्या होगा पता है ना?
हाँ दीदी, पोलियो से डबल सुरक्षा हमेशा के लिए।
याद रहे, पोलियो की तीसरी खुराक के साथ जरूर दिलवाएं पोलियो का इंजेक्शन।
A अधिक जानकारी के लिए अपने पास के स्वास्थ्य केंद्र, ANM या आशा दीदी से संपर्क करें।
मैं अमिताभ बच्चन आज आपके सामने वो कहने जा रहा हूं जो मैंने पहले कभी नहीं कहा। मैं एक रोगी हूं, हेपेटाइटिस बी का रोगी। 1982 में कुली फिल्म की शूटिंग के दौरान मेरे साथ एक दुर्घटना हुई। ऑपरेशन करवाना पड़ा और मेरे शरीर में 60 बोतल खून चढ़ाया गया। खून का कोई एक सैंपल हेपेटाइटिस बी इन्फेक्टेड था जो मेरे लिवर तक पहुंच गया। कई सालों बाद आम जांच के दौरान जब इसका पता चला तो मुझे यह भी पता चला कि मेरा 1/4 लिवर ही बचा हुआ है। लेकिन सही इलाज के बाद आज मैं आपके सामने खड़ा हूं और काम कर रहा हूं। हेपेटाइटिस बी से बचने का पहला उपाय है शिशु के जन्म पर पहला टीका लगवाएं और पहले साल में 3 और नियमित टीके लगवाएं। ये आपका पहला कदम होना चाहिए। मुफ्त टीकाकरण के लिए अपने पास के स्वास्थ्य केंद्र जाएं और पूरी जानकारी लें। देखिए, ये जो हेपेटाइटिस बी है, इससे हम डरेंगे नहीं, लड़ेंगे।
किशोर अवस्था हम सब की जिंदगी का बहुत ही अहम पड़ाव होता है, जिसमें हम सब बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण शारीरिक और मानसिक बदलावों से गुजरते हैं। इस उम्र में खून की कमी यानी अनीमिया काफी आम है, जिसके कारण कमजोरी, चिड़चिड़ापन और थकान जैसी शिकायतें आती हैं। सप्ताह में एक बार IFA की नीली गोली लेना किशोर अवस्था में विकास के लिए सहायक होता है। ये नीली गोली शासकीय शालाओं, आंगनबाड़ी केंद्रों और शासकीय स्वास्थ्य संस्थाओं में निशुल्क मिलती है। मैं आशा करती हूँ कि आप सब किशोर और किशोरियां साप्ताहिक IFA की इस नीली गोली का सेवन जरूर करेंगे।
माँ, मेरा जन्मदिन कब है?
बेटा, फागुन में हुई थी तू, खूब बारिश हो रही थी।
तेरे वो जौनपुर वाले रामलाल चचा है ना, उनकी शादी के 4 दिन बाद।
अरे वो गौरी है ना, अपनी बचिया, उससे बस 1 दिन बड़ी।
काश इन्होंने भी बर्थ रजिस्ट्रेशन कराया होता। बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट स्कूल में एडमिशन, सरकारी नौकरी, वोटर ID कार्ड और पासपोर्ट हासिल करने में मदद करता है। इसे आप बच्चे के जन्म स्थान पर 21 दिन के भीतर ग्राम पंचायत कार्यालय या स्वास्थ्य केंद्र से बिल्कुल मुफ्त पाएं। नन्ही सी जान की पहली पहचान।
Welcome back after the break. You're watching our special interaction with the Vice Chancellor of the Jawaharlal Nehru University, Professor Jagdish Kumar. With him, we are discussing the events that unfolded on the evening of 9th of February and the consequences. So before heading for the break, we were talking of where does JNU stand now amidst this controversy. I would want you to tell us more about what is the atmosphere presently at the campus. Is it politically bifurcated?
You can actually go around the campus and see for yourself. The campus is very peaceful. The classes are going on, the labs are going on, exams are taking place. So the campus is actually very peaceful.
Have any sustained remedial action being taken by the management, by the administration to ensure that such incidents do not repeat in the future?
You see, we are always careful about any such events that might take place in the university. There are rules and regulations. We will definitely make sure that these kind of events will not take place in future because we don't want any bad publicity for our university. As you know, JNU is doing very well in terms of research, in terms of training these students. In fact, just 2 days ago, 2 of our faculty members, they have received awards. They have been selected for the awards given by the President of India for excellence in research. So we would like to focus on taking this university to the next level by working hard together, all of us.
A lot has been written and has been said about the police action in the case. As the Vice Chancellor, if such an incident happens in the near future again, would you be inclined to call in the police again?
See, JNU, again, as I said, is an autonomous institute. We have our own ways of dealing with any crisis that develops. So we will never be approaching the police for issues that arise in the campus unless it is beyond our control. So there is absolutely no case of calling the police on the campus to deal with issues on the campus.
Do you think it will have a bearing on other universities as well? Do you think there is a need for a joint approach with other universities to prevent such incidents?
You see, every university has its own tradition, it has its own culture. they need to deal with the issues as they arise. So I would definitely not prescribe a common approach to all the universities. But however, it is important that what I am going to say is applicable to all the universities. It is important that we establish a better communication between the administration and the students. It is important that we treat the students as equals. We should have confidence in them that they can give their objective opinion. We should create an atmosphere where they are fearless in expressing their opinions. If you can realize this kind of atmosphere in the university, I think the problems will be much lesser. Otherwise, what happens is a build-up of issues can take place when there is no communication between the administration and the students. And then it can explode without any warning. So the best way to prevent is to have a better dialogue and communication with the students as frequently as possible. And that is what we do at JNU.
And from here on, do you think dialogue would help in restoring the confidence in the students here on the campus?
Always. Dialogue and debate are two important aspects that I completely trust. In fact, just this morning I had a meeting with the student union. I have explained to them the steps that we are taking to bring normalcy. I have requested them to cooperate with us. Let me tell you that the entire community in JNU, let it be teachers, students, Karamcharis, staff, they all stand behind me in bringing normalcy back to this campus.
Right. On that note, we're again heading for a short commercial break. You're watching DD News. Stay with us.
अस्पताल में गंदगी हो सकती है, कुछ छूना मत और बीमार पड़ जाओगी।
अरे दीदी, अब सब बदल रहा है।
इतनी साफ सफाई?
जी, हम सब ने मेहनत की है ताकि आपके इलाज में कोई कमी ना आए।
बदल रहा है, बदल रहे हैं। स्वास्थ्य केंद्र अब स्वच्छ हो रहे हैं और ये भी संभव है। बस पहल करनी पड़ेगी हमको और आपको भी। स्वच्छता का संकल्प करें, स्वास्थ्य केंद्र का कायाकल्प।
किशोर अवस्था हम सब की जिंदगी का बहुत ही अहम पड़ाव होता है, जिसमें हम सब बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण शारीरिक और मानसिक बदलावों से गुजरते हैं। इस उम्र में खून की कमी यानी अनीमिया काफी आम है, जिसके कारण कमजोरी, चिड़चिड़ापन और थकान जैसी शिकायतें आती हैं। सप्ताह में एक बार IFA की नीली गोली लेना किशोर अवस्था में विकास के लिए सहायक होता है। ये नीली गोली शासकीय शालाओं, आंगनबाड़ी केंद्रों और शासकीय स्वास्थ्य संस्थाओं में निशुल्क मिलती है। मैं आशा करती हूँ कि आप सब किशोर और किशोरियाँ साप्ताहिक IFA की इस नीली गोली का सेवन जरूर करेंगे।
सुना है बिटिया की शादी तय हो गई है?
हाँ सेठ जी।
कुछ रुपए पैसे?
नहीं सेठ जी, मैंने इसके लिए ग्रामीण डाक जीवन बीमा पहले से ही करा रखा है।
ग्रामीण डाक जीवन बीमा, ताकि आपकी शान हमेशा बनी रहे।
NRI लड़के से शादी हुई तो फैमिली में सब बहुत खुश हुए, लेकिन विदेश पहुंचकर मालूम पड़ा कि मेरे हस्बैंड ने शादी के लिए सब झूठ बोला था। काम काज से लेकर प्रॉपर्टी तक के बारे में सब इन्फॉर्मेशन गलत थी। मेरे साथ उसका बर्ताव दिन पर दिन खराब होता गया, मारपीट, मेंटल टॉर्चर। और जब पता चला कि वो पहले से ही शादीशुदा है तो मैं बिल्कुल टूट गई। विदेश में रहते हुए उसके चंगुल से निकलना मेरे लिए मुश्किल था।
NRI लड़के से शादी तय करने से पहले उसका एम्प्लॉयमेंट रिकॉर्ड, सोशल सिक्योरिटी नंबर, पासपोर्ट डिटेल्स और मैरिटल स्टेटस के बारे में अच्छी तरह से जान लेना बहुत ही जरूरी है। और ध्यान रखें, NRI शादी को भारत में ही कानूनन दर्ज करवाएं। गलत NRI शादी में फंस चुकी कोई भी महिला तुरंत मदद के लिए पुलिस और एम्बेसी में संपर्क कर सकती है। और साथ ही राष्ट्रीय महिला आयोग की वेबसाइट पर जाकर NRI सेल में ऑनलाइन कंप्लेंट भी रजिस्टर कर सकती है।
दीदी ये देखो।
H1N1 फ्लू को फैलने से रोका जा सकता है। खांसी और छींक के बाद और बच्चे को छूने से पहले अपने हाथों को साबुन से धोकर H1N1 फ्लू को फैलने से रोक सकते हैं।
इन्फेक्शन रोको, बनो हीरो। इलाज सिर्फ चुने हुए अस्पतालों में उपलब्ध।
Welcome back after the break. You're watching our special interaction with the Jawaharlal Nehru University's Vice Chancellor, Professor Jagdish Kumar, and with him we're talking more on the incident that unfolded on the evening of 9th of February. Sir, before heading for the break, you talked about how peaceful is the atmosphere in the campus at present, and it is not politically bifurcated. But then I would want you to tell us, do you think this incident will have a bearing on the university's image in the near future, in the longer run?
Well, the university is doing very well. It is a small aberration that has taken place, and we are already beyond that incident. So JNU is a happening place. Just now I came back from a function where I released a book on Indian foreign policy. I came from a conference where I inaugurated the program. So all the academic activities are taking place very regularly in this university now. We have put that incident behind now.
Let's keep aside this incident, and you've told us that you've joined office on 28th of January. As the Vice Chancellor, what vision do you have for the university, provided that the fact that you yourself come from an IIT?
Well, my role is going to be a multitasking role. I need to be a facilitator. I need to be a resource mobilizer. I need to be a mentor. And I need to be a person who can take everybody along. I am a team player. Whatever decisions I take, I consult people, I discuss with people, and then take ideas. I believe that as an administrator, as a leader of this university, I should do things using a bottom-up approach, not top-down approach. I believe that ideas should propagate from the bottom of the pyramid and then come up. So that is how I plan to do. And as far as what I plan to do for the university, there are many things that I wish to do. First of all, hostel accommodation for students is a major problem. We have about 8,300 students on campus, but we cannot really provide accommodation because we don't have enough hostels. So that is going to be my first focus area. And then we need to recruit faculty. So for next few months or so, I'm going to look at recruiting the best faculty on the campus, because it is these youngsters, young faculty, who are going to be the pillars of this university. And then housing for the faculty is another major problem. We have at least more than 150 faculty or so who do not have housing on the campus. So that is going to be my other focus area, right? Because unless both the faculty and the students are comfortably placed on the campus, we cannot really have a good output from them, right? And as far as the research excellence is concerned, we are already doing well, but we cannot be satisfied with what we are. We need to move on to the next level. In order to do that, we need to establish good research labs. Funding becomes a major issue here. We need to approach various funding agencies in the country. I am encouraging a lot of younger faculty to write project proposals, bring in funding so that we can create new research labs. I also want to emphasize the fact that JNU has a multitude of courses, and very few people can get into JNU. Admission into JNU is very, very tough. So is there a way we can make our education available to a large number of students who cannot join JNU? For example, why not we use technology? Why not we record these different kinds of courses and make them available to the students who cannot afford to come to JNU? Especially we have in social sciences, in languages, arts and aesthetics, culture, there are different kinds of programs which makes JNU a very unique university. And in addition, we have excellent programs in sciences. So there is a great combination of these sciences and the social sciences in this university, which makes JNU a totally different university compared to the conventional universities. So I want to make use of this heterogeneous nature of this university and take it forward.
So let's hope this aberration, as you call it, which happened on the 9th of February, does not hamper the spirit and the vision you have ahead for the university. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you, Preeti. It's a pleasure talking to you.
So that was the Vice Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University, Professor Jagdish Kumar, speaking with us and telling us of the vision ahead for the university and telling us how a balance between the administration and the opinion of the students has to be maintained to ensure prospering of the university. That's it in this edition. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.